segregated the Negro as an organization. Largely, an independent Negro institution is dominated by the thought of the
Right. And so his religion is merely a loan from the whites who have enslaved him. So the things what Carter G. Woodson understood, what he understood was that what black people teach in the black church is merely a loan from white people. Read on.
The educated Negro minister is so trained as to drift away from the masses and illiterate preachers into whose hands the people
When Martin Luther King made us march and said, when the white man beat you, forgive him, that's why we don't have Lenox Lounge.
Right.
You ever heard of Seneca Village? It's Seneca, right, Kadazar? Seneca Village? You ever heard of Seneca Village? It was in Central Park. Y'all know why it's not there no more? Because we integrated with the so-called white man. Joining the white man is, even the Puerto Rican Day Parade. Y'all should be ashamed to be calling yourselves Puerto Rican.
That's right.
We say so-called Puerto Rican because you're not a rich port.
That's right.
They call you Puerto Rican because that land of Puerto Rico was rich with wealth, rich with jewels and gold and everything. And they said this port is rich.
That's right.
And that's what they called y'all. And y'all have a holiday to commemorate being called what the white man named you.
Right.
Give me Deuteronomy 28 and 37. You calling yourselves by names that's not even yours. What was your name before Puerto Rico? What was it before Lenox Lounge? What was it before Central Park? In order to fix the problem of integration, you have to destroy it.
Right.
You have to destroy integration.
Right.
You know how you destroy integration? You separate from them.
That's right.
Your loyalty shouldn't be to them. Your loyalty should be to your own people.
That's right.
Now they'll have a march for Lenox Lounge. What about them Central Park 5?
That's right. Yeah.
What about Mike Brown?
Right.
What about Eric Gardner? Like we gotta lose a restaurant. They gonna rally for a damn restaurant?
Right.
For a restaurant. For a place that you can eat when the souls of black people is under this concrete.
Right.
The souls of the Native Indians is under this concrete.
That's right.
And we marching about a goddamn lounge. And they marching and chanting. You got Deuteronomy 28 and 37. Read that, please.
From the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 37. And thou shalt become an astonishment.
When they walked by, I was ashamed. Like, I'm like, what the hell is this? Like, they walking around, they got all that make. I thought they was African chanting or doing something. I thought they was doing, I was going to ignore them. Like when they was doing their little African mumbo jumbo, I didn't know what that was about. But when I seen them, right, or New Orleans with the voodoo or something like that, I thought that's what they was about. The Lord said, we shall become an astonishment. What does an astonishment mean? When you look at this people, you will look at them like, what the hell have they become?
Right.
And when we look at black people, we're like the walking dead of what the hell have we become in America. We're the last high, first five. We're the best drug dealer and the best drug addict, and in turn, the best inmate.
Right.
We're the best murderer. When I'm saying best murderer, make no mistake, the white man does all these things the greatest. There ain't a greater murderer than the white man. There ain't a a better drug dealer than the white man. But I ain't concerned about the white man problems right now. Because when a brother kills my brother, that offends me. When a brother's hooked on drugs, that offends me. So I have to talk about what directly affects us. And we have become that astonishment in America. Keep reading.
A proverb and a byword.
That's why nobody respects us. You know why nobody respects us? Because the greatest thing we can do is dance. We're going to dance and get that restaurant back. We're going to dance. We're going to dance it. You think the white man going to see y'all in this little section over here dancing, and they're going to say, man, let's give them that lounge back. Because they just dancing so well.
Let's get rid of the bank.
Yeah, let's get rid of the bank. And let's get rid of Wells Fargo that's bringing in millions of dollars to bring in the lounge because they dancing. How about if we boycotted the bank? Or boycotted the restaurant? What you say? Or boycotted boycott the very restaurants that they taking away. Boycott that CVS. If you really want to express your power, America will express it. Will respect it if you affect their dollar.
That's right.
And I guarantee you, when you take your dollar away from them, we gonna spend our money. Black people don't know how to hold money. So now, if you take the dollar away from them, maybe you'll put it into your black businesses.
Right.
The black businesses that I bring out every week when I come out here in Harlem, all the black businesses y'all see on these street corners. You know why they on the street corners and not in the stores? Because we love the white man. Because we wanted to integrate. Imagine in the 20s, the white man wouldn't come uptown. He wouldn't come up here to Harlem.
Hell no.
This was run by like yes, Madam C.J. Walkers. I was watching the movie Hoodlum when you see about the origin of the lotto.
Right.
There were brothers and sisters that with that lotto business, which they legalized now, which showed you wasn't nothing wrong with it.
Right.
It was just that the white man wasn't making money off of it, which shows you that lotto business they had was funneling throughout all 5 boroughs, giving jobs, businesses, teaching them how to run a business, doing all of that. And then we let the white man come in because they wanted to be cool with Lucky Luciano and all of them, not knowing the white man gonna take everything from you. That Negro League was the same exact way. We had our own baseball teams, not players in the league or nothing like that. We had our own legitimate baseball team, and you know who we praised? Jackie Robinson. And Jackie Robinson killed the Negro League because they didn't feel good. This is what mind boggles me about the psychology and our envy of our, give me Proverbs 3:31, of our envy of the white man. We envy the white man so much, unless we're hitting his baseball, it don't matter. Unless we run into his first base, it don't matter. You telling me that baseball in the white league was different than the one in the black league? That it was the hot dog better? Was the concession stand better? Like, what was so great about playing baseball with the white man other than envy? Other than wanting to be accepted? We are like a raped nation that still wants to get acceptance from the man that raped us. And that's sad. You got Proverbs 3:31, read that.
God, from the book of Proverbs, chapter 3, verse 31, envy though not the oppressor.
The Lord told us, and why is it saying envy not the oppressor? Because it's telling you who's going to be on top.
That's right.
And the white man is on top of us. But we don't have to envy him. The white man, you know, the white man ain't just on top of us. He dropped bombs in Nagasaki on Japan. He dropped bombs in Afghanistan. But you don't hear none of them envying the white man, so much so that they don't build their nation up.
Right.
Japan still flourish. The Afghanistan, they still got their land. They still flourish. They still doing everything that they're supposed to do, even though the white man is hunting them. As much war as the white man is supposed to be with the Middle East, the Arabs flourish over here. Arabs don't get profiled over here. When the last time y'all seen a rally because they done falsely killed some Arabs? Or profiled some Arabs and pulled them over because they had a tail light out that wasn't out? But they're supposed to be the terrorists. What are they, Al-Qaeda today? They're Al-Qaeda or insurgents or whatever acronym they want to use to kill them, but they can walk up and down here freely. Only us, because we're the threat. Like I always say, y'all think America runs off Duncan? No, America runs off niggas.
Right.
And when I say niggas, I'm talking about my blacks and Hispanics. You make America run.
Right.
And the threat of you leaving America is why they do what they do to you. The reason why they put that Central Park movie out was not to rile you up. You think it's going to rile you up. It's actually to keep you in your place. You know why that keeps you in your place? It keeps the fear of what the white man can do to you in your brain.
Right.
All of them movies like that. Central Park 5, them slave movies. The only slave movie I liked was Django. And the only reason I like Django, because Django got to beat the white man up.
That's right.
You give me that movie all day. I'll take that movie over any other movie on the planet. I'll take Django. I tell everybody. I tell people at my job, even white people, I say, man, I love Django because he was beating the slaves. I can't watch nothing else. I can't watch Rosewood, Roots. I couldn't even watch that. Listen, my daughter watched the Central Park 5. I think I watched an hour of it and I had to stop watching.
Right.
We don't need a reminder of how oppressive the white man is.
Right.
We need to know, how do we defeat that oppressor? Give me Luke 18:1. We need to know how we defeat that oppressor. That oppressor seems like he's unbeatable. Because no matter what you do, it seems like it always fails. The reason why it fails is because the individuals that are starting the solution does not have the answer. What do I mean when I say that? You had your civil rights leaders. They told y'all the answer was integration. Now, examine what was life like before integration. We was at war with the white man. He was sicking dogs on us, spraying us with hoses. I remember when the Navy people would come, when the white navies used to come on shores, they used to beat up the Puerto Ricans. Beat them up, rape the women. They used to do all manner of evil. All that used to take place. That's before that's before integration, before civil rights. Now, we done had civil rights. We done had integration. Are we still getting locked up? Khalif Browder was in jail for 3 years over an arrest. First of all, he was never convicted. It was just for an arrest of something he never did, over a book bag. Khalif Browder, Rikers Island, 3 years. When he came out, he hung himself. That's after integration. That ain't supposed to happen no more. Eric Garner got choked out on national TV. The YouTube, that's the new national TV. That's where everybody go to get famous. Eric Garner got choked out. That ain't supposed to happen no more, because integration was supposed to fix that.
Right.
We ain't supposed to be #1 in abortion. Integration is supposed to fix that.
Right.
We ain't supposed to be #1 in the prison system. Integration was supposed to fix that.
Right.
We ain't supposed to be the last hired and the first fired. Integration, wasn't that supposed to fix that?
Right.
So if integration didn't fix that, what does that teach us? What is the lesson of the 50 years we've had of integration? It was a failure. And black people need to face the failure of integration.
Right.
And let's start from the ground up. So now, what do you have now? You have the ADOS movement. American Descendants of Slaves. Now that's the closest movement that I can kind of relate to. Because at least what they're trying to say is, at least what they've woken up to the fact is that Africans don't like black people. They just don't. That's another, listen, these are harsh pills y'all got to swallow today. The white man don't love you. The African don't love you either. And that's just the cold facts. How do you know the African don't love you? Look at other races. When their race gets kidnapped by another race, they go to war for them people that got kidnapped. They go to war for them. Who went to war for us when we came over here in slavery? What ship? We done been over here for 500 years. Give me the one African naval base ship or something that sailed over here to free who they said they people was. Not one. So now they finally starting to wake up. The part that everybody is missing, without an identity, you can't wake up.
Right.
If you don't know who you are, how can you go into that culture? The reason why we call ourselves Christians and Baptists and Methodists, Episcopalian, is because we're trying to gravitate something that we can follow as far as what we eat, what we practice, how we live, what do we do in our day-to-day. But being a Christian is not a nationality. Being a Christian is something that was beaten to you. That's why every Christian believes this. Every Christian believes this is Jesus Christ, and this is not Jesus Christ. So now, but now imagine if you're the Christian trying to gravitate to the culture. You're going to try to embellish or be a part of everything Christian. This going to be your God. This who you're going to try to emulate, and then you're going to be a homosexual. That's right. Or your wife is going to get slept on by the pastor. That's right. The pastor going to sleep with your children. The choir director's gay. You're never going to get satisfied in that Christian church because it's not an identity. So you have to go to who can give you your identity. Who can tell the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians who they are? You got Luke 18:1? Let me see that. Read that, please.
From the book of Luke, chapter 18, verse 1. And he spake a parable unto them this day, Salakia, to this end, that men ought to, Salakia, sir, that men ought always to pray and not to faint.
Christ said first, you supposed to, everybody talk about they praying, they want their life to get better, right? But when you praying, you can't faint, meaning you can't be weak in your prayer. That's right. You got to be strong in your prayer, because the battle that you in is for your very soul. Your very soul is at stake. When that white man put the Central Park 5 movie out there, that was for your soul. He wants to keep your soul entrapped in that dichotomy. Even that movie, The Panther. Everybody see that movie, The Panther, right? Put your hand up if you see the movie, The Panther. Even that was to keep you a slave. You know why? Who was the hero in there? T'Challa, right? T'Challa wanted to get along with everybody, right? What did Killmonger want to do? He wanted to kill all the enemies of them. He said, all of them are enemies. We got the technology. Let's use the technology to free us from the oppressor, right? Who died in that movie? Killmonger died. Who lived? The one that wanted to get along with everybody. Even that psychology. And even that phrase, you know how he said, I'd rather die bury me in the water with the slaves? Even that psychologically destroys you. Because what that teaches you is that whatever mission you have, that's your destiny. Your destiny is to die, drown, get hung, because you'll never be able to defeat your enemy. So the Lord said you always ought to pray and faint not. Now give me Matthew 10:5-6, please. If you don't have your identity, you'll never get out of the condition you're in. If you're addicted to drugs, it's because whatever psychological damage that's been done to you, nobody's counseled you to get out of it. Nobody's addressed the reason why you're hooked on that dope, hooked on that crack. That woman on that stripper pole, everybody laughs at her or gores at her or wants to sleep with her, but nobody says, how did she even get on a stripper pole? Right. Do you think a black woman as a child said, you know what, when I get older, I want to go on a pole and let a bunch of strangers look at my titties and my ass all day and put dollars in my side? Do you think that's what a black child thought when she was younger? I got 3 girls. My oldest, she wants to be a doctor. She want to be all type of things. She want to be a nurse. It's all different ideas, but a stripper is not one of them. So now, you have to think, what transpired to that little girl to make her say that? The brothers that's drug dealers, you think children wanted to be drug dealers? No. So what happened in their lives that made them become drug dealers? The drug addicts. I don't know no drug addict that ever in their life grew up and said, man, I can't wait to get hooked on dope. I see all the other dope addicts. They look like they have a wonderful life. I see the crackheads. They look like their life is wonderful. That could be an occupation I can aspire to. What child y'all know? I don't know them. Nobody wants to go into that individual. That's what it takes. If you're really gonna fix the problem in black people, that's what it takes to fix the black problem. You know what it takes? Compassion. That's right. That black people don't even have a fathom of an idea to have unless it's the white man. We start talking about that white man, boy, when they had that terrorist attack in Paris, everybody with a Facebook page made Paris their profile photo. What was it, red, blue, or something like that? Everybody had that photo because they just love Paris. But what do they do for the deaths of black people every day? In your own neighborhood, you know who's getting molested. What have you done about it? In your neighborhood, you know who the pedophile is. What have you done about it? You know who the drug dealer is. We don't have to buy their drug. Why do we have to buy drug dealers' drugs? Why do we have to fear them? You know how they say don't snitch? Even that's a scare tactic from drug dealers. Don't be afraid. You should never be afraid because they live off of your fear. And you know who gets destroyed? You're the generation that comes up after you. We are generationally destroyed. You got Matthew 10, 5, and 6? Read.
From the book of Matthew, chapter 10, verse 5 and 6. These 12 Jesus sent forth and commanded them, saying,
this is what Christ told the 12 disciples to do. This is why we come out here on these street corners. Read.
go not into the way of the Gentiles.
Why is it saying go not into the way of the Gentiles? Because we in Harlem, America. Harlem, New York, whatever the hell you want to call this place. Hell. We in hell right now. We in a land that we don't own. That's right. Like brothers be bugging me out. Brothers be claiming 145th and Lenox Ave. Where I'm from, they claim Woodlawn. And they claiming a piece of land that they don't even own. Street don't belong to you. Street belong to the city. Street belong to the government. But in this government, in this city, in this street, there's ways of life that totally contradict what we are supposed to do. Totally. We're not supposed to be homosexuals at all. America, you could be a homosexual. You could be a transgender. Now the transgender kind of backfiring. Now they got the men that's transgender and going into women's sports. And then they winning all the damn sports because they men. That makes no sense. But that's the confusion that takes place when you're living opposite of what you're supposed to live. You're never, like we weren't made, a man wasn't made to be with a man. He was made to be with a woman. You know that because he has a rod and the woman has a vagina.
That's right.
It don't match. A rod and a rod don't match together. A vagina and a vagina don't match together. Nature teach. I shouldn't even have to teach you that. But we live in a society that loves to be homosexual. We live in a society that loves pedophilia. We live in a society that loves lesbianism. So it says go not into the way of the Gentile, meaning don't follow that. We live in a society that loves Christmas, loves Kwanzaa, loves, what's that Ramadan they just had? Love that rock in Mecca. That's a rock. Y'all know Allah is a rock. You can walk around Allah right now. When y'all walk up and down the street, you walking on Allah right now. We're not supposed to go into that. Because when we go into that, you know why we get destroyed? Whatever religion you follow, you subject yourselves under the people that are the fathers of that religion. So when you subject yourself to Christianity, you're going to subject yourself to the white man. When you subject yourself to Islam, you're going to subject yourself to the Arabs because that's theirs. Subject yourself to your own. Keep reading.
And into any city of the Samaritans enter ye not. Verse 6. But go rather to the lost sheep of the house of Israel.
Christ said to go to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. So now, who are the Israelites? The Bible, they teach y'all that all the time. The church I used to go to, they used to say we was the Judah. We was the tribe of Judah. That's all. The only tribe I knew was Judah. That's it. I didn't know none of the other tribes. But Christ said to go to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Christ didn't say to go to everybody. God didn't never say he loved everybody. Jesus, there ain't no verse in this Bible where Jesus Christ, Yahawashi Mashiach, ever said to go to everybody. He said to go to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Why were they called lost? Why are you even called sheep? You're called sheep because you have to be led by a shepherd. That's why you're called sheep. We don't have the ability to think for ourselves. You see what happens when we think for ourselves? We do what we want to do. And we're destroyed doing what we want to do. So we require a shepherd. Our shepherd is Jesus Christ. And he said to go and get a specific people, which are the children of Israel, that would be lost.
Nobody tell you cry. You know why? Because I never saw you before. But you a black man like me. And it's worth something.
My whole life was trying to find something to follow. Had loyalty, every man tried to borrow. Felt pain and a lot of sorrow. Got betrayed, so packed, I didn't even have my heart broke. Living confused, about to lose hope. Cops got me on the side of the road like a sideshow. Need an antidote before I croak. Now I'm setting fire to rhythm man blues, call this guitar smoke. Rebel with no cause, trying to find direction. The world got me vexed. Picked up a bad liquor habit that's hereditary from oppression. Felt like my life was on fire, trying to find an exit. Now look, 10 G's plus a good wreck. Sometimes a follower is a soldier, trying to find a good ship. Plus when you in hell, how do you excel? Wisdom the breath of life, I don't believe in fairy tale. Listen well to what I tell. No calling can cause pain. Something that a rebel knows very well. Can't you tell I was sent from the Lord?